News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KVNU.
KVNU News Time is 4:03. I'm Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by U&I Furniture. 10 years ago, Luis Ramos participated in the 2013 Spice on Ice Challenge at the Eccles Ice Arena, representing Gaucho's Grill. The restaurant won People's Choice, Chef of the Year, and Judge's Choice that year. Since that time, Ramos has been involved with and started several other restaurants throughout Cache Valley. He's now launching his newest restaurant, Rio Brazilian Steakhouse, which opens tomorrow in Logan. The restaurant is located at 880 South Main, Suite 170. Rio Brazilian Steakhouse features a parade of fresh, sizzling meats of various cuts, and Ramos says people are allowed to sample as much or as little as they like.
The thing is, like, you go other places and you pay, you want a steak, you pay really expensive, and maybe you don't even like it. So here you have 16 different options, different cuts of meat. So once in a while we want to do the wild meat too. We really compare with the other even steakhouses in town. You get way more here than the other places.
Meat servers circle the restaurant, visiting each table and offering samples of meat on skewers fresh off the grill, including delicacies like orange chicken, pork loin, top sirloin, beef wrapped in bacon, Parmesan chicken, and more. If you want to try it, the server will slice off a piece of meat right onto your plate. The restaurant offers a full salad bar to balance the meal, including authentic Brazilian dishes. They also feature traditional Brazilian drinks like Brazilian limeade and Copacabana, a pina colada drink served in a pineapple. This is Ramos's 7th restaurant opening from scratch. He has learned a lot of lessons along the way, preparing him to create a unique restaurant option unlike anything else in the area.
We are, working hard to get the best meats in town. The best steakhouse in town so the clients, when they come here, they get the best quality for a steak.
When coming up with the name for the restaurant, Ramos says his children love the movie Rio, and whenever he thinks of the city, he thinks of carnival and fun. He wants his restaurant to reflect a similar fun atmosphere. KVNU News Time is 4:05. KVNU weather for tonight: partly cloudy skies, patchy fog through the night, low in the upper 20s, and then partly sunny on Friday, mid-40s. By late Friday nights, and especially the overnight hours, 30% chance of rain and snow in the forecast. Rain and snow likely Saturday morning, snow likely in the afternoon, high in the mid-30s. Short-lived, though, 40% chance of snow Saturday night, but it's done by Sunday. Partly cloudy skies, but colder, high temperature in the lower 30s. All the way to 49 this afternoon. It's 48 right now at KBNU. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, you deserve an advocate. The advocates will provide caring, experienced support and will fight for the settlement you deserve while you rest and recovery. That's the Advocates Injury Attorneys. Call 801-355-5550 or online at utawadvocates.com.
Thank you. U&I Furniture wants to say thank you to all of their friends and customers. U&I Furniture is grateful to be a family business, now in their 5th generation. For over 90 years, they've always offered a good product at a good price. And that's why they say you'll always find a better buy at U&I. Stop by and see them this holiday season with lots of store-wide specials and great bargains. Purchase any sofa or sectional, and U&I says thank you with $100 off on any chair to go with it. U&I Furniture in downtown Logan.
KBNU News Time is 4:07. The Utah Division of Wildlife Resources and the Utah Department of Transportation got more than they bargained for when they introduced the Utah Roadkill Reporter app. As it has turned out, the app has been a big asset to both state agencies. The Utah Roadkill Reporter app was released in December of last year to help people easily report the location and description of any dead animals they see near or on roads. So those animals can be removed quickly from highways and freeways. The data has proved to be a valuable resource for gathering important wildlife migration information for biologists. UDOT's Natural Resource Manager, Matt Howard, said the app is helping the agency keep Utah roads safe by helping them more quickly remove carcasses that can cause traffic hazards. Also, the data collected from the app is helping them determine where to potentially place wildlife fencing and crossings, protecting people and wildlife. During the first year, people using the app have reported a total of 3,843 animals killed on the roads throughout the state. Roughly 98%, or 3,611 of the reported animals killed by vehicles were mule deer. However, DWR biologists estimate there are more deer killed than reported. They estimate that it's closer to 10,000 deer actually hit and killed by vehicles in Utah annually. And a 61-year-old man was arrested and faces multiple charges related to the alleged aggravated sexual exploitation of minors. Perry J. Hunter was booked into the Salt Lake County Jail on Wednesday on suspicion of 6 counts of aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor and 10 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. According to a probable cause statement, law enforcement received information indicating his potential involvement in the purchase and production of child sexual abuse material, commonly known as child pornography. The investigation revealed that Hunter had planned to travel to the Philippines, a known destination for sex tourism involving child sex trafficking. Upon his return to the U.S., law enforcement stopped and questioned Hunter, seizing his digital devices for further examination. During the interview, Hunter initially claimed that an unknown person had sent explicit material to him. However, he later admitted to soliciting pictures and videos of underage girls, confessing that he had paid for such material from various sources, including images featuring nude underage girls and their mothers. KVNU News Time is 4:10. For more details on these and other stories, visit CacheValleyDaily.com.
Reporting the news that matters to you. News Talk KVNU, 610 AM, 102.1 FM, your number one radio station for news and talk.
If cost is preventing you from calling an attorney after your accident, you can stop worrying now. You can call the Advocates and discuss your case with an experienced Cache Valley attorney at no cost to you. At the Advocates, when we say you pay zip, nil, nothing, we mean it. Our consultations are free and we don't get paid unless we win your case. Let us be your advocate and we will fight for the settlement you deserve without you ever opening your wallet. Call 801-355-5550 or chat online at utahdvocates.com.
Need some last-minute gift ideas? Pick up a copy of the Best of Northern Utah magazine. There you'll find all the businesses in our community who were voted the very best in their category. Best place to buy a gift, boutique stores, jewelry, power tools, clothing, dining, and more. There's something for everyone on your list. Go to bestofnorthernutah.com for magazine pickup locations. And please, support local business first this holiday season.
Are you in need of excellent surgical care? Budge Clinic General Surgery offers the future of surgery with state-of-the-art robotic-assisted procedures. From cancer treatments to surgical needs, they've got you covered. Call Budge Clinic General Surgery today, 435-716-1950, to schedule a consultation and experience the best possible outcome. Trust Drs. Anderson, Marshall, McKenna, and Peterson, the experts at Budge Clinic General Surgery, helping people live the healthiest lives possible.
For the people.
We are waiting with bated breath for news from the Cache Republican Party meeting an executive committee tonight.
With Jason Williams.
And I'm really excited about this next segment. We have two guests here in studio. We're going to talk about something that we've talked about many times here on the show, but from a bit of a different angle.
Weekday afternoons from 4 till 6 on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102 FM.
Welcome to KVNU's For the People. It's Thursday, December 21st. I'm Jason Williams. Bill Walter in the studio as well. And Charlie Schill joining us this hour for the For the People Theater Hour. 753-5868. Between now and the end of the year, there are some things you can get out to if you're looking for something to entertain the family. And Charlie has been very busy the last little bit. And we didn't get to do your reviews last week. We had Gavin here in the studio, Gavin Sign from the Eccles Theater in the studio talking about their lineup specifically. And so I think we missed some reviews from you.
Yeah, a couple. Not a big deal.
They build up fast.
They do.
This is the Pickleville weekend.
This is it.
I guess, this is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Nearly sold out a couple of those shows.
Pickleville is performing tonight, Friday night, and Saturday night at the Ellen Eccles Theater, and that's about all she wrote for Christmas.
Yeah. That is, and if you have never had the opportunity to see Pickleville's, Christmas presentations, you won't be disappointed.
Unless you're trying to get tickets for a bunch of people, then you will be disappointed.
Some of those shows, honestly,
are pretty close to sold out.
Yeah, the closest I've seen in a while for the Eccles Theater to sold out, and then a pause at the Eccles until. When is Step Africa? That's January 11th. So a little break there. Probably the quietest that theater has been
forever
for a year. And I wanted to throw this out too for those who are interested. USU's Outdoor Programs is bringing back their working with Camp Saver to bring back their Banff Center Mountain Film Festival. But they're calling it the Mountain Film and Book Festival this year, and I'm not sure what that's all about. And that is the next thing up, the Eccles, which is in February. And, of course, Wendy might sneak some things in there in between that January show and February 9th for the film festival. But I don't know what they mean by book and film festival. I have no idea. People have asked, is there going to be a book sale at the Eccles? I have no idea.
There probably is.
Yeah, it could be. And I know the USU Outdoors program has some really cool stuff, so they might have some exhibits and stuff as well. So that's just the Eccles, though. We have, when does USU fire back up?
Again, not till, I think, late January.
Late January, okay. So you'll get a little bit of a break.
We'll figure it out.
There's been some announcements, I hear, in the theater world. I couldn't find them, but somebody said that they heard that they're making a go of kind of a relaunch after the show was canceled at I forget the name of the theater now in the old King's Building. I can't believe I've forgotten that.
Lionheart Hall.
Lionheart Hall, yes. You think I remember that? It's such
the
a unique
King's
name.
Building. Do you remember how that's way back?
Dating myself, right? Yeah, I've been hearing rumors that sometime in January they'll have, because of course their show was canceled. The show that was planned there was canceled this year, not by the theater, but by the production group, the theater company. Due to them being spread a little bit too thin, they decided to focus instead on their other doings, their classes and their workshops. But a rumor going around is sometime in January they're going to be making an announcement. Lionheart Hall will be making an announcement about a big show they have planned as kind of a makeup. But I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything more than that rumor that they'll have an announcement. So maybe something in January popping up there, or maybe the announcement will be for something later in the year. Who knows?
Probably need to hunt down Travis Lanhart.
Yeah, we'll get him in here and see if maybe he's spreading the rumor to gin up excitement. We'll see if we can pin him down. But you've got a whole stack of notes here today,
and not really that much. I'm kind of on pins and needles. We're going to the Eccles tonight to see I Believe in Christmas, a North Pole musical, which is supposedly somewhat different than the last time they did this show, which was then it was a North Pole Christmas.
North Pole Christmas. That's so the title North Pole Christmas a couple years ago, and then the North Pole Musical called I Believe in Christmas this year.
Well, if you remember, I don't know if I can go into. I shouldn't go into that spoiler alert thing.
I know. I almost did last week when we were talking about it. I thought, okay, I have an idea of what they mean by reimagining.
Do you remember the trick ending?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I'm wondering if that's where this takes off from.
I don't know.
That would be fun if it is.
It would be, because that kind of floored me, because you didn't know what happened at the end.
Yeah. That's.
Was it all a dream?
Or was it?
Or who knows?
Yeah.
TJ's got something up his sleeve, absolutely. And I've deliberately not read any of the reviews that were written in Idaho Falls and Salt Lake.
That's
because I want to be surprised.
Do you know how things went in Idaho Falls for them? I thought about actually texting.
They did
TJ.
pretty well.
Did they?
Salt Lake, people know what the deal is.
Yeah.
But this is the first time they've been in Idaho Falls.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm guessing Pickleville might be somewhat known in Idaho Falls. I mean, being based in Garden City and around the Bear Lake Valley, there might be an audience there familiar with them already. But
simply by virtue of the fact that those people go to Bear Lake, and go to the theater.
So there has to be some knowing.
Pickleville on tour was probably a little surprise for them.
Yeah, and so I'm curious how if they were able to. On their first go-round, fill those theater seats. But maybe we'll get a chance to get TJ in here one time. And
they only did one night.
What? Oh, that was one night. I didn't know that.
In Idaho Falls.
In Idaho Falls. Couple nights in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And 3 nights here, right?
Yep.
So we get the extra night. I'm impressed.
Well, they know they got a crowd here.
This is their stomping ground, and it will. I mean, the Eccles rarely completely sells out, but it's worth considering.
Have you looked?
Yeah, looking at tonight, tomorrow night. Those are the two I've been able to click on. If it's just 2 of you, you might be able to get seats together if you buy now. If it's more than 2 of you, you're going to be scattered throughout the theater, and it's pretty picked over. I don't know on the 3rd night. I can't get that one to load for some reason, but yeah, it's you're gonna if you want tickets to this. If you're just hearing us talk now and remembering this is happening, you're going to want to jump on casharts.org and get your tickets today.
So it's pretty much sold out Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
You can guarantee practically that it's sold out Saturday.
I would guess that's probably the show most people are headed to.
Yeah, that's the show most people want to go to.
Yeah. So, again, a couple of spots I can see here tomorrow night where you could get 2 together or 2 on one row and 2 nearby on a nearby row. But otherwise, pretty picked over. And if you need tickets to this, jump on them now. Casharts.org.
That's a real shame. Pickleville just they're just not successful.
Victim of their own success.
Victim of their own success. Yes.
That is. I mean, honestly, it's to pack the Eccles Theater 3 nights in a row is something that most professional touring companies don't do.
No. Well,
it happens. But
when we had Gavin here last week, he talked about that the theater doesn't want to have touring companies come in and lock the whole place down for a week.
Yeah.
And part of that is that you're not going to be able to fill all of those seats night after night after night.
Yeah.
If the same show is being performed.
That's.
The Gentry Christmas show was pretty close to that. They did, I think, 2 nights here.
Really?
Yeah, and they were pretty close to sold out.
That's Gentry. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, they're familiar. No, they
very
did.
popular.
They did 3 nights.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, but they've performed with the Tabernacle Choir and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So they're kind of local favorites.
Yeah, and well known enough that they could do that.
Yeah,
but impressive to see Pickleville doing it, and repeatedly, because they did this when they did North Pole Christmas too, and I forgot what they did last year. It was something different last year.
Oh, they did the Juanito Bandito.
That's right.
No, a Juanito.
Juanito Christmas.
Juanito. Juanito Bandito is gone.
Yeah.
He no longer exists.
He's retired.
He is now Juanito.
That's right. I forgot that
There's
changed.
no Bandito.
No Bandito anymore.
There's no Bandito. He's just a Juanito. But he still sells mustaches in the theater.
Same profession.
And everybody wanders around with mustaches. He's just changed his they're trying to avoid the hey Godzilla.
Yeah.
You want something to drink?
Yeah. Trying to shake that up a little bit.
Yes, a little.
The North Pole Christmas, I Believe in Christmas, or excuse me, a North Pole musical, I Believe in Christmas, by T.J. Davis, Pickleville on tour. Again, tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night. Tonight, pretty picked over. Friday night, I did finally get Saturday night to load. Pretty picked over. It's still some group seating in the balcony Saturday or Friday night if you're looking for a group location. But otherwise, I would just guessing. I would guess there are about 20, 25 seats left. All of them scattered throughout.
In the whole house.
Yeah, in the whole house on Friday night. Tonight, actually, I would guess there are only about 8 seats left. Counting here, just a rough count. And Saturday night is almost gone. So if you want tickets, jump on them fast. 753-5868. We'll be back right after this.
This is Dr. Paul Daines at Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. This time of year is filled with wonderful sounds, from music and family parties to an I love you from a grandchild. Don't miss any of these special moments. Let us help you or a loved one with a plan to improve your quality of life through better hearing. Visit us at 485 North Main Street in Logan or call to make an appointment at 753-4327. That's 753-HEAR or find us at cachehearing.com.
Christmas is almost here. Are you still looking for that perfect gift? If so, S.E. Needham Jewelers is the place for you. We have fine jewelry pieces starting at $29, sparkling diamond earrings starting at $149, diamond bands made of 14-karat gold at $249 with financing available. For gift ideas, take a look at our extensive watch and gift selection, or make it simple and stop in for a gift card in any valuation. There is still time to shop for the people and occasions that matter most. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block at the sign of the clock.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. It's the Theater Hour with Charlie Schill here in the studio. And you're welcome to join us, 753-5868. We went a little bit long there. We're headed right into a news break, so maybe we'll hold. I don't know what it is, Bill. Nothing during the break. Come back from the break, and I've got to take a drink and cough.
Well, it's mic fright or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's my first time.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
After all these years.
I swear, air quality is killing me.
There is something in this studio that you are
I've wondered.
I'm thinking you're almost allergic.
I've wondered for years what it
It's
might
that
be.
Rush Limbaugh picture behind you, looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, Paul Harvey over there on the other wall giving me a dirty look.
Could be Paul.
No, my theory is that there's so much construction going on here on the average day as we remodel all the studios.
And it's I'm really dreading when they come in and tear the studio apart.
When they start ripping the carpet up.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be a bit dusty. Get used to the coughing, folks.
Well, I think we'll be moved to a temporary location up on the roof.
Yeah, I'm suspicious they're going to put Bill and I on
maybe
in a little closet
tent
up the hall.
You mean we're going to an undisclosed location?
We are.
Wow.
For a couple of weeks, I'm told.
Taking the show on the road.
Possibly off-site. Actually, we should start making requests of where we want to do the show live from.
There you go.
I know there's
someplace that has food. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's we used to do live broadcasts from Morty's on campus when they first opened, and they just opened in Providence. Maybe we can work something out, but we'll see.
You guys are shameless.
Oh yeah, we'll exploit this for a nice view to do the show from. If you have recommendations on where we do the show, let us know.
That could get dangerous.
Yeah, it could be. Again, the Theater Hour here with Charlie Schill. I'm going to get a drink of water, clear my throat, and you're welcome to join us, 753-5868. We'll be back with more after the news with KVNU's Bill Walter.
Thank you, Jason. KVNU News Time is 4:29. In the news, there's been no sign of a Pocatello teenager who went into the Snake River about 300 yards from the American Falls Reservoir back on December 6th, but that won't keep his family from searching for his body and bringing him home. Emergency crews searched the river and the reservoir for almost 2 weeks, but time and weather were not on their side. Authorities called off the official search and recovery effort for the teen on Monday. Jaden's family had been searching alongside the professionals for that entire time. They organized their own search groups based out of Willow Bay RV Park in American Falls. Described as very steadfast by the Bingham County Sheriff's Office, the Jensen family, their friends, and community supporters are not giving up on bringing Jaden home. Their search and recovery efforts continue with warmer weather this week, bringing new hope. On Monday, authorities called off the search for the Pocatello teen who fell into the Snake River in Bingham County earlier this month. In a Facebook post, the Bingham County Sheriff's Office said weather conditions had forced them to stop the search. Multiple agencies had been searching for Jaden since he went under the water in the McTucker Ponds area north of American Falls Reservoir on December 6th. Unified Police are currently investigating an incident where a Mill Creek family reported that someone shot their cat in the head. The cat, named Cookie, is currently stable, but a scan at an advanced veterinary care will provide more information into her condition. Owner Jim Durant said he usually lets her out in the backyard around 10:30 every morning. His daughter, Phyllis Vollmer, said when she noticed Cookie had not come in, she went to check outside. That's when she found her dad's cat bleeding underneath the trailer. They immediately rushed Cookie to advanced veterinary care, where veterinarian surgeon Lisa Anderson explained that she had an entry wound on the left side of her neck, and based on the x-rays, it had lodged on the right side near her nasal cavity, and they are presuming that it is a bullet from a 22-gauge rifle. Durant said this was especially hard because Cookie had been a support animal for him after he had lost his wife of 65 years several weeks ago. Police said there are no leads or surveillance video of the incident. And former Aggie guard Sam Merrill set career highs with 27 points and 8 3-pointers. Karis LeVert scored 23 points, and the shorthanded Cleveland Cavaliers beat the visiting Utah Jazz 124-116. Merrill buried 3 3-pointers during a 17-2 run to open the fourth quarter, giving Cleveland its largest lead at 109-95. Cavaliers shooting guard Donovan Mitchell sat out the game against his former team with an illness. Lauri Markkanen had 26 points, 10 rebounds. Colin Sexton scored 20 points for the Jazz. KBNU News Time is 4:32.
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. 3 Tacoma, Washington police officers have been acquitted in the death of Manuel Ellis, who was tased, choked, and beaten in 2020, despite repeatedly telling officers he couldn't breathe. The FBI is looking into more than 1,800 reports of threats or tips related to the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel.
These are the types of cases that people are reading about. So, for instance, these include the case of a man who was arrested at Cornell University for making threats against the Jewish community there.
Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco says the biggest concern is lone wolves and small groups acting with little or no notice. President Biden and Mexico's President Lopez Obrador spoke by phone about the unprecedented influx of migrants. The holiday getaway is on, and it could be a record one for the nation's airports. Officials say it should be pretty stress-free, though, provided the weather cooperates. This is ABC News.
KBNU weather for tonight. It looks like our weather is going to cooperate if you have travel plans. Partly cloudy tonight, some patchy fog through the night. Low in the upper 20s, partly sunny, mid-40s tomorrow. But then by late Friday night, especially the overnight hours, there is a chance of rain and snow. And then rain and snow likely by Saturday morning. Snow in the afternoon. Shouldn't amount to too much, though. They're saying about half an inch at best, mid-30s for the high on Saturday. Chance of snow Saturday night, and then back to partly cloudy skies on Sunday. It will be colder, high in the low 30s. It was 49 this afternoon, and right now we have 45 degrees at KBNU. U&I Furniture has a big assortment of dining tables they recently picked up from name-brand manufacturers, some with benches and swivel stools. Small tables to big tables for family gatherings, always a better buy at U&I. Downtown Logan, 28 West, 1st North. You can always get more news at CashValleyDaily.com. Let's check Wall Street now with Edward Jones.
Good afternoon. This is Raydale Gibbons bringing you the Daily Financial Markets Report on behalf of financial advisor Mike Arnold and Edward Jones. After falling sharply on Wednesday, stocks resumed their rally today, with the S&P 500 closing higher by over 0.9%. The S&P 500 is on pace for a 15% gain since its recent lows on October 27th. A key contributor to the recent move higher in both stocks and bonds has been the sharp move lower in Treasury yields. Today, the U.S. equities closed higher. The Dow closed up 322 points at 37,404. The Nasdaq closed up 186 points at 14,964. And the S&P 500 closed up 48 points to 4,747. In the bond market, the 10-year Treasury yields are trading at 3.88% higher. For stocks of local interest, Autoliv closed up $2.95 at 108.49. Chevron's up 46 cents at 150.71. Dominion Energy's down 43 cents at 46.75. Home Depot's up 31 cents at 348.97. Kroger's up 2 cents at 45.02. Lowe's is up $1.54 at 223.55. McDonald's up $2.40 at $291.39. Microsoft's up $2.92 at $373.54. Nucor's up 93 cents at 176.62. Philip Morris is up 84 cents at 92.83. And Walmart Stores is up $1.09 at $154.80. Today on the commodity market, the price of crude oil was down 25 cents at $73.97 per barrel, and the price of gold was up $8.90 at $2,056.60. This has been today's Financial Markets Report, brought to you on behalf of Edward Jones, a member of the SIPC, and financial advisor Mike Arnold, serving individual investors with personalized attention and financial advice, located at 135 North Main, Suite 102 in downtown Logan. If you'd like additional information, please contact our branch office at area code 435-753-2915. Daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com.
The Above and Beyond Salute.
This is Curtis Kazare.
Curtis, I'm calling to award you with the Above and Beyond Salute this morning after you saved that 16-year-old boy's life on Monday at Skyview High School. I was wondering if you could just tell me what it was like.
It was an athlete of mine that his heart stopped, and friends came to get me, and so I was just in the position to do the training that I've learned, the skill that I've learned.
Curtis, well, I have a $40 gift card for you to Firehouse Subs as a way of saying thank you.
Well, that's awesome. I love Firehouse Subs.
The Above and Beyond Salute, sponsored by Firehouse Subs on News Talk KVNU.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. Coming up in hour 2, the state auditor has released the results of a state audit, a report of a state audit related to the financial practices of the Utah Inland Port Authority, which now has, or will soon have, a footprint here in northern Utah, out on the outskirts of Tremonton in Box Elder County, near the Wild Bird Refuge. In fact, that was one of the reasons it was so controversial, literally butting right up against the Wild Bird Refuge. So we'll talk about what that report had to say and how lawmakers are responding to it. Spoiler alert, they are not happy, and they are scrambling. So we'll talk about that in hour 2. Right now, it's the Theater Hour with Charlie Schill here in the studio. And we talked a bit about Pickleville. Just a reminder again, I Believe in Christmas, a North Pole musical, is tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night at the Eccles Theater. Fairly picked over. There are still a few spots for a large group of 4 or even 8 in the back of the balcony tomorrow night. Tonight, though, not even that. Saturday night, not even that. A few seats here and there. So if you want tickets, you're likely not going to be sitting next to your partner if you go as a group. But still, tickets are cheap, from $35 to $55. And I did notice this, Charlie. There are a couple of those fancy, those angled seats that are on the outside of the edge of the box seats. Yeah. There are a few of those left for $50. So if you want to sit there, you could actually do that
and get a good view.
Yeah, decent view there. So.
But actually, we haven't been talking a bit about Pickleville. We've been talking a lot about Pickleville.
That's right. And they deserve it. It's been one of the most fascinating things to watch.
Well, watch
them grow.
One of the reasons why T.J. Davis can get away with, running a show up to the 23rd of it's because he takes his whole family with him while he does it.
I thought about that because you're talking a significant cast, and then the crew that goes with that, everyone who works at the theaters as well, and you're literally running this show up until the day before Christmas Eve, which is kind of never done usually, or
no,
at least you try to avoid it.
Usually, you see a Christmas show scheduled mid-month. That's about the latest.
Yeah,
and then everybody says, let's go home and have a good time.
Yeah, that is.
But this show, you got TJ's son, KJ, and a 15-year-old brother, Hayden. Hayden is working backstage. KJ will be on stage with his father.
Okay.
Erin Davis is running the costuming for the show. That's TJ's wife.
Oh, really?
Let's see. What else is... Oh, yeah, there's a couple of... there's one change, definitely, to this show. If you recall, in 2001, the father in the show, who is played by TJ... he has only male children. This time out, TJ's bringing 2 female cousins, Tess and Hattie King,
really?
To play his daughters in the show. So that's a change.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, well.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That is, it's going to be fun to see. You know, you and I have talked about this many times, but obviously at a certain point, there might be a ceiling where Pickleville expands and they go just a bit too far and they have to pull it back in a little bit. We're definitely not there yet, but I also wonder if the Davises themselves have their own ceiling where they're not looking to take over the world here. They're not looking to be in a theater every week all year long. Maybe they've expanded to a point or close to a point that's their comfort zone, that they can do this and handle it and still have a life.
You remember last year they did a Halloween show.
Yeah.
That was basically sketch comedy.
Yeah.
And a variety show.
It was very funny.
And I don't think it's was as popular as their normal stage shows.
Yeah.
They had, Jordan Todd Brown was in the cast, and he's a favorite of mine and of a lot of people.
Very funny guy.
Yeah. So I would think that this year, when Pickleville, the Playhouse over there, was doing the play that goes wrong for their fall show, not necessarily a Halloween show.
Forgot about
TJ decided, all right, why stretch? Let's go big at Christmas and not worry about it.
Yeah, that's what leads me to believe that maybe there's a comfort zone for them, that this expansion isn't a thing where they're just going to keep getting bigger and bigger until they can't handle it anymore and then pull it in. The changes that they've made to the Halloween show, to the Christmas show the year before, and things like that, make me think there's a balance that they're trying to get themselves, and this might be as big as we see Pickleville get, which is fine because it's pretty big.
It's pretty big. That's right. Particularly if they start, based on the success of the Christmas show that they did in Idaho Falls, if that opens up a new avenue there.
Yeah.
Let's be serious.
A lot of room in Idaho for them.
They've probably saturated the market here for their Christmas show.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done they do 3 nights, and they pack the biggest theater in town.
Yeah.
What more can you ask for? I don't know. I don't know how they do in Salt Lake, but I think they probably do fairly well. They've been going down there for years.
Yeah.
So
I could see them having some room to expand a bit in Idaho.
Idaho, yeah.
Maybe even to the point where you start to see multiple shows in Idaho Falls.
Because if you wander around the theater in the summer and look for Idaho plates on the cars, there's a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely over in Garden City.
So
when you see that parking lot,
I think they're getting a building an audience in Idaho as well.
Yeah, and if you think about it, that for those who live north of Bear Lake in the Idaho area, or even in the Preston and above area, the jaunt for them over to Idaho Falls is a bit easier than ours. So that's not a big deal for them to go to Idaho Falls to see a show on the weekend. There's a pretty big audience up there. Of course, the entire population of Pocatello. I think there is one theater in downtown Pocatello. It's smaller, but for them to go to Idaho Falls for a big show on the weekend is pretty easy too. So, I think they could have a pretty big footprint up there. And like you said, when you see those cars in the parking lot over in the Garden City, the original Pickleville Theater. There are a lot of Idaho plates, so people are making the drive already to see them. So,
and the thing you gotta say is that the caliber of the shows that we're getting, not just Pickleville, but the Jenny Oaks Baker and Family 4 show.
I was excited to hear that was as packed as it was.
Oh, yeah.
That was...
Yeah. And that was a great show. I mean, not only did Jenny's family appear and her children, who are really talented, but that show had an Irish vocalist, a soprano, a percussionist, 40 choir singers, about a dozen step dancers and 8 ballerinas, and a partridge in a pear tree.
That's a pretty big production, really.
There were times when that massive stage in the Eccles looked crowded.
That's pretty cool.
Looked, elbow room, maybe.
And it was packed. It was. I mean, for a one-night event, of course.
The theater was jammed.
That's it sends a message, basically, that there's this audience that for almost everything Wendy has tried or invited to be on the stage at the Eccles, there's an audience, and it's an eclectic audience. The general audience for arts and entertainment, we'll say, is a very eclectic audience, because I would guess, I don't know how you would ever study this, but I would love to see someone study the crossover. How many people bought tickets to multiple shows at the Eccles each year, and what were those shows? Do you have the same people going to Pickleville that are also showing up for the comedy nights, or Jenny Oaks Baker? Or I would guess almost, if you look at the calendar, look back and look forward at the calendar of the Eccles, I almost feel like every show has its own audience with very little crossover.
I'm thinking you're probably right.
And that's actually amazing if you consider the volume of people in a year's time that amounts to.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. Charlie Schill, our guest here in the studio. Charlie got out and saw the Gentry Christmas, as we've talked about, Jenny Oaks Baker, and more. Pickleville, he'll be seeing tonight. Watch for his review at CashValleyDaily.com in the next few days. Pickleville running tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday at the Eccles with their original show, I Believe in Christmas, a North Pole musical. Pickleville on tour. Tickets still available, but again, pretty picked over. If you're looking for tickets, you might want to grab them now. 753-5868 if you'd like to join us. We'll be back right after this.
Ho, ho, ho! This is Santa Claus. I'm here to tell you about Daryl's Appliance, your one-stop shop for all things jolly and appliance-related. Is your oven acting frosty, or maybe your fridge is on the naughty list? Let Daryl's Appliance be your Santa's little helper this Christmas. They've got Christmas savings galore, so you can bake those cookies and roast chestnuts without a hitch.
Daryl's. Find them west on Airport Road. Open until 6 p.m. on weekdays, 5 on Saturday.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Christian Nelson from the Northern Utah Eye Center. Our entire team at the Northern Utah Eye Center would like to offer a sincere thank you to our patients and members of the community. We are grateful for the opportunity to serve you. We thank you for choosing the Northern Utah Eye Center, the best of Northern Utah in 2023. Our wish for you is good health, clear vision, a wonderful holiday season, and a happy new year from all of us at the Northern Utah Eye Center.
You're gonna love what you see.
This is the Sean Hannity Show.
If this coming election becomes a referendum on the horrible job that Joe Biden has done on the state of the world and the state of the country, borders, energy, economy, inflation, ask yourself, what has Joe Biden done that you would identify as successful? Because I can't think of a single thing. If you can and you want to call in, we'll put you right at the top of the list, because I don't think there's much there. I can't identify one thing.
Weekday afternoons from 1 to 4 on News Talk KVNU.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Speaking of the remodel going on here, which will be going on into next year, and hopefully eventually will be caught up and done. I can see in the one studio in which they've ripped all the old out and put in all the new, they've got the spaceship lights going on the broadcast table.
Oh, they turned those back on?
Turned them back on. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know what the purpose of the spaceship lights are, but I like it.
It seems like it needs to be something that you turn on and you turn off the overhead lights at night and stuff, and then you just have those on.
I think guests are going to be pretty impressed when they step in and we're, instead of on this long table we're at now, coming out from the wall, we're in the center of the room on something round. Bill on sort of a mothership-style elevated platform above us, looking down, and then the table is changing colors and flashing, and I think guests will be impressed. But
or it'll send them out of the room screaming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
either
that's true.
Little strobing effect, a stroke, that sort of thing.
I want no part of this.
Convulsions, yes.
I'll just call in.
One thing we should talk about, too, again, about the Eccles. At the news meeting this morning, Eric Franson reminded all of us that we need to do the end-of-year wrap-up stories for our various beats.
Our internal poll of biggest stories of the year.
I really think one of the big stories in the entertainment venue is that the introduction of these tribute bands at the Eccles
and their success
have been wildly successful.
That's what I have to admit. When I saw the first one pop up, I thought, of course, Wendy's going to have some filler. That was my first reaction, is a tribute band is filler. Just, you've got an open weekend, this band's on tour, you'll probably sell enough tickets to make it worth everybody's time, and that's the way I looked at it. And man, I was wrong.
Yes.
They sold out.
Yes, and that was the Eagles tribute band.
Yeah. That's right, that was the first one this year, right?
That's right. And then we had, I don't remember who.
Yeah, I don't remember who was next either. I know. Carpenters haven't happened yet, right?
It was the Carpenters. There was the Carpenters tribute band.
Had Toast.
And there was Toast.
Toast.
Yeah. And
there's one more.
They all sold really well. And, now we're going to have ABBA next year.
Yeah. That's which I predict that one, just for the fun of it, is going to sell out too.
Sure,
it's really impressive thing to see. But yeah,
it's a new type of entertainment here, and Wendy's, you hats off to her, because she predicts these things that they'll work, and
yeah. I think the two things that she has proven that surprised me the most, I'm not surprised that the Eccles sells out as often as it does with the content they have. I'm not surprised that Pickleville does very well when they come for this 3-night run starting tonight. None of that surprised me, but it's cool, but it doesn't surprise me. What has surprised me, though, from Wendy since the shutdown in 2020 for a while there, and then coming back, some of the new things she was throwing into the mix. She surprised me with the success of the comedy nights. If someone had asked me, will that ever be a successful thing in Cache Valley, I would have said hundreds have tried and no one's ever made it work.
Well,
she did somehow. And the tribute bands.
The comedy nights have been sort of hit and miss.
Have they?
Yeah. One night you'll get a huge audience, and the next night,
That's interesting.
They haven't done that. They've done well.
Yeah.
But, they haven't been anywhere near as popular as these tribute bands.
That's interesting. But they have done better than I would have predicted. I would have.
Yeah.
I really, if I'd been, say, an advisor and been consulted, I would have steered them away from that, because so many people have tried that and it's just never worked, and yet it worked enough.
They've done better this year by putting them on weekends.
Yeah, that seems to be a key, a trick to it. And then, like you said, the tribute bands, I probably would have said, if you have an empty weekend and they're in town anyway or in Utah anyway, why not book them? But let's not make that a priority. And now watching this year play out, I might say, if Wendy asks for my opinion, maybe we should make 3 or 4 of these a priority.
And
they sold out.
And like Gavin told us during the last show, there's a lot of musicals and things that are touring that we can't bring in now because they're having trouble, with their staging and all this other jazz.
Yeah. Which is
they kind
bound
of
to happen.
They kind of went to the tribute bands as a filler for those. A couple of years ago we had Something's Rotten came into tour, and also Some Kind of Wonderful.
That was a first too, right?
Yeah, and this year we haven't been able to get those kinds of performances here, but boy, she's filled out that schedule and it has worked.
Yeah, honestly, it's going to be. It's going to be. Well, we could probably say this every year, but it's going to be difficult for Wendy to top herself next year. Yeah.
Watch her do it.
She'll do it. But she has created quite a challenge for herself in that because these experiments have paid off. And yet you still, in the mix, have the staples, the things you would expect to be at the Eccles on a regular basis. And it just really cool to see, and we're lucky for it. Wow, that hour went by fast. Charlie, it was a fun conversation. Enjoy a little bit of a break after Pickleville for a week or two, because I know that's all you're going to get is that week or two.
Next time, let's talk about 2024.
Yeah, a look ahead, because there's so much. Starting with Step Africa at the Eccles, in fact, January 11th. USU's King College of the Arts students firing back up right after that. And then it just doesn't stop for the rest of 2024. Charlie Schill, you can read his work at CashValleyDaily.com in between Thursdays, but he'll be back with us next Thursday at